Welcome to Smart Learners channel. Make sure you subscribe and click the notification button to see my new videos. In this video, we'll be discussing on a topic, cell structure and function of cell components. So under this topic, we will identify the cell structures. The second one, analyze the function of the component of plant and animal cells. This is a typical animal cell. As you can see, inside this animal cell, these tiny structures are referred to as organelles. Taking the structure from my left hand side, the first one is cell membrane. The cell membrane covers the organelles which are embedded in the cytoplasm. This cell membrane is flexible and is made up of mainly proteins and lipids. It is selectively permeable. These cell structures cover the cytoplasm and all the organelles which are embedded in it. The second one, which is lysosome. Lysosome, also known as the suicide bag of the cell, it contains enzyme. The third one is the nucleus. The nucleus is the big cycle in the center, as we can see. Inside the nucleus, we have the nucleolus, which is the smaller cycle. And the nucleolus, together with the nucleus, is covered by nuclear membrane. This nuclear membrane separates the nucleus from the cytoplasm. Down the nuclear membrane, we have the vacuole. The vacuole, which is below the nuclear membrane, as we can see from the structure. It is mostly absent in animal, and when they are present, they are usually very, very small. So these vacuole mostly are absent in animal. Down the vacuole, we have the mitochondria, also known as the powerhouse of the cell. These are oval or rod shaped. They are bounded by a double membrane. The inner membrane is folded and the interior is filled with matrix. This matrix contains ribosome. So on my right hand side, we have the cytoplasm. The cytoplasm is the fluid material that suspends the cell organelles. Like I said the other time, that this tiny structure inside this animal cell is referred to as organelles. The cytoplasm suspends the cell organelles. Downward, we have rough endoplasmic reticulum. They have ribosome attached to them. That is why they are referred to as rough endoplasmic reticulum. The ones that have no ribosome attached to them are smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Down the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, we have the ribosome. The ribosome sometimes can be freely suspended in the cytoplasm, but mostly they are attached to endoplasmic reticulum. And once they are attached to endoplasmic reticulum, that endoplasmic reticulum is referred to as rough endoplasmic reticulum. Down the ribosome, we have the Golgi body. The Golgi body is also referred to as Golgi vesicle. They are series of disc-shaped sacs. Sacs. As we can see, they are many. They contain sacs like discs. This is a typical plant cell. As we can see from the last diagram, animal cells are spherical in shape, while plant cells are kind of rectangular. So this is plant cell. From my left, the first organelle we have here is ribosome. Just like our past video, the ribosome, they are small round bodies. They can be freely suspended in the cytoplasm, or sometimes they can be attached to the endoplasmic reticulum. Down the ribosome, we have endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum, they are membrane-like structure that form channel within the cytoplasm. Sometimes the ribosomes are attached to the endoplasmic reticulum, and when they are attached to endoplasmic reticulum, they are referred to as rough endoplasmic reticulum. So this rough endoplasmic reticulum do a function of transportation. Down the endoplasmic reticulum, we have the chromosome. The chromosome is found inside the nucleus, as we can see. The nucleus, down the chromosome we have the nucleolus, which is also found inside the nucleus. These nucleus are embedded by the nuclear membrane. The chromosome contains the genetic material of the organism. That is, it contains genetic material of the plant. The nucleolus, as we all know, is a site for synthesis of ribosome. Down the nuclear membrane we have the chloroplast. The chloroplast, these are large green organelles in plant cells. They contain chlorophyll. This chloroplast is responsible for making plants to be able to produce food by themselves. These chloroplasts, they contain chlorophyll, which are the green pigment of the plant, which is the reason why plant is able to photosynthesize, which is the reason why plant is able to produce their own food. Down the chloroplast we have the leucoplast. The leucoplast is mainly known to contain starch. In my right hand side we have the cell membrane. Like we say, the cell membrane is semi-permeable. It does not allow everything to pass through it. But cell wall is the rigid, tough structure that is freely permeable in plant cell. It's freely permeable. It allows anything to pass through it. Down the cell wall we have the Golgi complex, which is also known as Golgi apparatus. You can also call it Golgi body. This Golgi body, like I said earlier, they are disc-shaped sacs. They are sacs in this shape. Here, as we can see, the vacuole here is very, very big. So in plants contain a very large vacuole, a very, very large vacuole. The nuclear pore, as we can see, the nuclear pore. Down the nuclear pore we have the mitochondria. The mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. It is the powerhouse of the cell. Like I said earlier, these are oval or rod shape. They are bounded by a double membrane. Let's take a look at function of plant and animal cells. These organelles that we have identified, let's take a look at their functions. The first one here is the lysosome. Like I said earlier, lysosome is also known as the suicide bag of the cell. The first function here is they contain respiratory enzymes. The second one is enzyme released by lysosome destroy bacteria and cell, hence also known as suicide bag of the cell. So they are responsible for breaking out, for destroying worn out cells in our body. The next one we'll be discussing is the cell membrane, also known as plasma membrane. Number one, it regulates the movement of substances in and out of the cell. Cell membrane is responsible for allowing movement of substances in and out of the cell. It protects the cytoplasm. That is, it covers the cytoplasm. It delimits the content of the cytoplasm. It also forms a barrier between cell and its surrounding. The next one we have here is the nucleus. Nucleus controls the activities of the cell. It stores hereditary information as it contains DNA inside chromosome, which take part in cell division. Just like we have CPU in the computer that controls the computer and is regarded as the brain of the computer, likewise nucleus. Nucleus is regarded as the brain of the cell because it dictates and controls the functions of other organelles in the cell. The next one here is the nucleolus. The nucleolus is found inside the nucleus, and their function is they produce the ribosome for protein synthesis. They are responsible for production of ribosomes. The next one here is the vacuole. The vacuole contains cell sap, which acts as an osmoregulator by helping to remove excess water in cells. Like I've said earlier, the vacuole is usually absent in animal, and if at all, if it is present, it is usually very, very small. So vacuole is mainly present in plant, and they are usually very, very large. The next one here is the cytoplasm. Aside the nucleus, The red cell organelles is referred to as the cytoplasm, and it suspends other organelles including the nucleus in the cell. The streaming content of this cytoplasm bring about the exchange of material between the organelles within the cytoplasm. The next one here is the endoplasmic reticulum. They help in the formation of enzyme and protein. They provide surface for the attachment of ribosome. They interconnect the organelles of the cell. They transport material within the cell. The rough endoplasmic reticulum contains the ribosome, so they are responsible for transporting materials within the cell. This type of transport is known as intracellular transportation, that is transportation within the cell. The next one here is the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. It makes lipids known as fat molecules. It has an enzyme which detoxificates drugs such as morphine and codeine. This smooth endoplasmic reticulum differs from rough endoplasmic reticulum because they have no attachment of ribosome. The next one here is the ribosome. They make protein by joining amino acids together. They are sites for protein synthesis. These ribosomes sometimes are attached to endoplasmic reticulum, known as rough endoplasmic reticulum. The next one here is mitochondria. They are the center for cellular respiration, in which food substances are oxidized to release energy for the activities of the cell. This is the reason it is referred to as the powerhouse of the cell. So mitochondria mainly function to oxidize food substances in our body. The next one here is the Golgi bodies. The Golgi bodies help in distributing the protein made by the cell. It helps in the production of lysosome. So these Golgi bodies is responsible for intercellular transportation. So they are responsible for transporting materials from one cell to the other in the body. The next one here is the chloroplast. It is the seat of photosynthesis where organic food are synthesized. That is where organic food are being produced. Chloroplast is present in plants and they are absent in animal, and that is why plants are able to produce food by themselves. The next one here is the leucoplast. These are colorless plastids mainly for storage of starch or lipids. The last one here is the cell wall. Cell wall is present mainly in plant cells and is absent in animal cells. It gives rigidity to cell and the plant as a whole. That is, it makes the plant very, very rigid. It also allows free passage of materials. Cell wall is freely permeable, unlike the cell membrane, which is selectively permeable. Now, let's take a look at the similarity and the difference between plant and animal structure. So here, let's firstly take a look at their similarity. What are the cell organelles that is common to both plant cell and animal cell? The first one here is the nucleus, Golgi bodies. The fourth one is ribosome, mitochondria, lysosome, cytoplasm, cell membrane, chromosome, endoplasmic reticulum. All these cell organelles are both found in plants and animal. Let's take a look at the difference between plant cell and animal cell. The first one, plant cell has chloroplast. This chloroplast makes plant cell able to manufacture food by themselves, but in animal cell, chloroplast is absent. So animal depend either directly or indirectly on the food produced by the plant cell. The second one is it is usually rectangular and deviate in shape. Plant cell is usually rectangular and deviate in shape, but animal cell is spherical or has no deviate shape. The third one, plant cell has rigid cell wall. Animal cell has no cell wall. The fourth one, plant cell has no flexible cell membrane. Animal cell has flexible cell membrane. The fifth one, plant cell, it has large vacuole. In plant cell, large vacuole is usually present, but in animal cell, vacuole is either small or absent. The sixth one is store lipid as oil. Plant cell store lipid as oil, while animal cell store lipid as fat. The seventh one, plant cell has nucleus at the edge of the cytoplasm. That is, the nucleus is pushed to the side of the wall. In animal cell, the nucleus is at the center of the cytoplasm. The eighth one, there is absence of centrosome and centrome in plant cell, but they are present in animal cell and they are responsible for cell division. Please subscribe and click the notification button to see my new videos. Thank you.